So I do always do like a chopper chatter thing. So you'll all get a chance to have your characters role play a scene and maybe get some like fun introductions and stuff. You can just assume everyone knows each other, but you can still kind of introduce yourselves in a way. But before we get to the actual game, I'd like to go around and have everyone just say uh, your name. I'll probably refer to everybody by their character names, but you can say your name, your preferred pronouns, and your character and their pronouns.
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm NotPotableWater, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Ansem, and his pronouns are he, him, but with a really thick Cockney accent.
Disco, pronouns he, him. I'm playing Locksmith, whose pronouns are he, him. Um, yeah, I really have no other description for the character. It's an amnesiac, so they don't even really know what they're doing.
Incredible.
Nice.
Fair.
How about Diesel?
Oh no, I'm playing uh, uh, a spotlight who's
Oh,
a th ugh, theatric a fighter who's basically just a Power Ranger. Um,
oh,
yeah.
that's all good.
I'm Agent pronouns they them, and Spotlight probably uses he him, but isn't too fast.
Hi, I'm Robot Lady Erin. I use the pronouns she, they, and I'm playing Clockwork, who uses pronouns she, her.
Hi, I'm Plesin. I use he, him pronouns. I'm also fine with they as like a catch-all if it's hard to juggle everybody. I'm playing Harker, the world's most tired hacker guy. Uh, he's always in his pajamas. I'm getting into the mood here by wearing a like little sleeveless cardigan. But yeah, he doesn't have very good social skills. He's got, of course, hacker and expert specifically in computerology, which is another term for computing, specifically in the ology vocabulary. Made sure to check on that. So basically, whiz at one specific thing.
Nice focused character. Okay. So I'll just do a quick mission brief and then we can roll over to the chopper chatter. Is everybody ready to get going?
Yep.
Sweet. Fist has received a distressed phone call from Paul Chan. He's a black hat hacker who was arrested and forced to work for the government, but still maintained
Terrifying.
his links to Fist. Um, Perhaps one of you know Paul. It doesn't really matter either way. But he's been working at the Shaw Computer Systems building. And this morning, Fist got a panicked phone call. It sounded like the phone was broken, and they only managed to make out the following words: Lisa, singularity, buzzards, hostage, help, before, and escapes. And all of that sounds pretty bad. Especially because there have been rumors that the Shaw building has been working on some very like top tier experimental stuff. They're recently flush with cash. So this doesn't sound good. You are all en route in the standard. It's a hijacked news helicopter that Fist has commandeered. En route to the Shaw Computer Building. You have a few minutes. Who would like to go first and role play a couple of little bit of chopper chatter moments?
I feel like this is almost stereotypical for someone like me, but you just kind of
So you're like a
I
hacker, or what's up with that?
uh yeah, sort of whatever we call it nowadays. You just kind of like is actually like half asleep, but also like his eyes are moving like kind of really fast. Strange because he's also got like a pot of coffee on the floor. He's probably not slept in like a day at least. Too much longer, he'll start seeing shit. So, ooh.
Fair. You should take better care of yourself. Spotlights to the back. It's like orange. They're around like a kind of like orange and black jumpsuit with, like stupid shoulder pads, Daft Punk-esque like glass helmet, and this probably much longer than necessary a cape. No, they're just sitting. He's just sitting there, legs crossed, like tapping one of his feet into a rhythm that isn't actually playing right now, but
Like I would, be a bit better by myself, but like, get paid pennies and all that. He just kind of like slaps himself a couple times to like wake up and like shakes around a bit like that.
I mean, it's never been about the money.
I mean, what else? Like honor, charity? What does that stuff feed you, man? I
It's
kind of
always
need
about the
money to live.
money.
Whatever
Always
suits you,
about the
man.
money. Trust me. Definitely about the money. Nothing more than the money here. All I'm doing, money. It's all that matters. Ansem says as he sits at the back, brooding, unscrewing and rescrewing his silencer, readjusting his tie, trying to make sure he looks, as best as he can, as professional, and not just like a muppet who's turned up to a full raid in a suit.
Yeah, Harker's just like looking at him and he just turns around and is like, yeah, okay. Anyway. Uh
Clockwork is sitting on one of the seats and she's checking over her sniper rifle, sort of checking the bolt action on it and everything. And she's got sort of muddy blonde hair that's cropped at the back and the sides and it's pulled up into a ponytail behind her. And she's got a full like black pinstripe suit on with some Chelsea boots at the bottom. And over her left eye is an eye patch. It's black with white trim, and her tie is white with black trim around it. And she wears a black shirt underneath the suit as well. And she's just sort of sitting around, and she looks over at everyone and she says, "It's not about the money. It's about fighting for what's right, actually."
That's what I'm saying.
Regardless, you've been hired to do a job, and we're going to do it.
I figures. I mean, quite frankly, I'm at least better off here than whatever our guy was working for. 'Cause look, I mean, I know I talk a lot of stuff about, oh, I don't have health care. Yeah, yada yada. At least I'm not, you know, whatever they do over in the government nowadays.
Precisely.
Nowadays, not much has changed.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Par for the course.
Yeah.
Anything beats working for the mob. I'll give you that now. Oh,
Speaking of nowadays, what year is it?
I'm glad you asked. The year is 1985. Wait,
Ooh,
no,
yeah.
I'm sorry, December 10th, 1984. That's right.
Georgia will be quaking right now.
Don't worry about too much about, accuracy.
That's great
Just-
because my history is garbage. I don't know anything.
I was also asking in character because I don't know what year it is.
Oh, right.
That's also good. Yeah.
But I guess a brief description of Locksmith is he's wearing a boiler suit that's skin tight. And it looks like it's made out of like the same material that parachute pants were made out of. And he's sitting crisscross applesauce. And I think that I didn't really give much thought to like what he looked like other than the boiler suit, but I think he just has like messy, shaggy hair that's up in a bun. And he also looks tired. he's also tired. And yeah, he does not know what year it is. I mean, I could do this in character. I smelled money, and I followed the smell of money to this chopper, and I'm really happy that I work with you guys, because it'd be awkward if I didn't. I assume that you guys have worked with me before, or at the very least have some sort of contact that I've worked with. So I'm glad I'm on the right helicopter. It feels good to be where I should be. So thanks for not killing me or kicking me out or making fun of me. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Who is that guy?
I have no
Does
idea.
it say Harker is probably more of like in his off time, like a more of a handler character. So, like, I was thinking he might have actually worked with someone here before, probably like assigning missions and all that. I would think.
Is
If anybody wants to volunteer for that.
is this your handwriting? And Locksmith pulls out a little business card, a blank business card from his pocket that says "Good job" on it. And he was like, "This was in my pocket when I woke up a week ago. Is this you?"
Oh yeah, actually. I don't remember
Wow.
writing that, but looks like me. So, I mean, unless there's somebody running around with my credentials, hopefully not.
Well,
Uh,
that's one mystery solved. Good to see you again, I guess.
Hey, gotta have a friendly face. I mean, I'd hope everyone here is friendly. And he just kind of like winks, even though there's no real like necessary reason for the wink.
Unnecessary winks.
Unnecessary winks, like, and then everybody's just like, "What the fuck is he doing? Why is he doing that?" Well, you know that I don't.
Brandolph,
Okay.
can I ask really quick, what were the words that we picked up from that phone call at the beginning, if I can ask?
Absolutely. Okay, so it's Lisa, singularity, buzzards, hostage, help, before, and escape.
Amazing. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay,
So you all have one decision to make before you enter the Shaw computer building. There are two ways. You've been told you could easily get in, possibly others if you want to. There is either right through the front lobby. Should be easy. There's big old doors. What could possibly go wrong? There's also, if you somehow manage to get up on top of the second floor, excuse me, my notes here. Did I say second? I meant third, a little bit higher than I thought. If you get up on the third floor, there are skylights that if you bust through would take you right into the administration. So it goes the lobby, the administration, and sandwiched between these two levels is a tightly secured research and development that, as far as you know, there's no way to get in.
I think lobby. I really think we should go to the lobby. Easiest way in.
Yeah, sequentially, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, sadly, as much as Harker like might not trust the lobby immediately, he's not going to be able to climb up to the third floor. It's a bad idea. I was trying to think of like the right word for that. It's just a not advantageous way of doing it with his physical skills.
We have a helicopter though, right? What if we just land on the roof? Drop in?
That is true. We do. We
Actually,
are
yeah, that is
currently
true.
in a
Ooh.
helicopter. That's my level of
Hold on, the game's changed.
my
And the
level of
helicopter.
amnesia completely made me realize or forget that I was currently in
Oh
a
my
helicopter.
Why is this bus so high?
So I'm more of a long-ranged fighter, so going in through the lobby doesn't seem particularly advantageous for me, but I'm happy to go wherever you folks want to go.
Well, I will say,
Either way makes a good Either way makes a good entrance for me.
I forget. This is a game question. If I have the trait doors, can I bring people through doors that I can walk through, or is it just me?
It's a good question. Let me look that up here.
Because my idea was if Clockwork wanted to stay in the helicopter to snipe or whatever, and then I walk through the lobby, I could walk back through the door of the helicopter and bring you through the lobby if anything happened.
So I
That's
believe it's
smart.
only you. It's when you enter
Never
through
mind.
a door, you may emerge through any other door you have encountered.
Okay, cool. Well, my cool plan is no longer my cool plan. Never mind.
Oh.
What if we just pretend we never read it and then just rewrite the trait?
Yeah, Brand up, edit this out. Yeah, the doors trait is so versatile.
It's so cool how it's like how you can fit anything through the door,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Let's fit the helicopter through the door of the helicopter.
What if we open a door and fly the helicopter through?
Helicopters have doors, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Some depends, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, if you're long ranged, do we want to split up? I don't know.
The immediate party split. I mean, I'm down
Oh.
because I'm so ready to die.
Oh, I'm so down for a party split. I will happily siege the lobby single-handedly. Because why not?
I'll go with you through the lobby then.
Uh,
Um,
I'm kind of just good with whatever, I would say. Uh,
I'd go topside with Clockwork.
yeah, Brandoff, what kind of view are we like in range of the building right now, or are we still en route?
Yeah. So up ahead, you see it. There is kind of a wide, well manicured lawn. It's very like college building dull. Like there's nothing particularly interesting about this place. It's a simple sign, just Shaw Computer Systems, a wide parking lot, a few cars, and then just a long 3-story building, very like boxy and cement and nothing much to look at. You do notice that the what would be the middle floor has no windows whatsoever. So you get like these beautiful lobby windows downstairs, and then upstairs just office windows and the skylights. But the middle of the building is completely solid.
Okay, what kind of view can any of us get through the skylights if we're going above it?
Well, if you were to get close enough to look down through the skylights, you could probably see some things, but you're still a little ways away as the fist pilot patiently waits for what he should do. He's kind
Okay.
of just hovering.
Great.
So it sounds like we've got is it Ansem and Spotlight are going in the lobby?
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Right. So I think the let me just dive fate this. Can someone roll a d6 for me?
I can
Not it.
indeed. That'll be a 6.
A 6. The pilot decides to take the roof first. So the chopper approaches the building. Clockwork, you notice like a bird swooping by. I figure you're a sniper. You maybe have some well-trained eyes. You do notice like a bird.
I have a well-trained eye.
Oh, pardon me. You have the well-trained eye.
Yep.
You notice a bird swoops by very fast. The helicopter begins to settle down. It's hovering about 5 feet above the ground. The door opens up, and the bird pulls a sharp U-turn and begins to fly straight for the helicopter. What do y'all
Does
do?
it look like a buzzard by chance?
It looks more like a gray triangular, almost like, you know what they used to like line up like pool balls? If that was filled in with gray plastic and coming at you fast as a bullet.
I attempt hack. I don't know how, but I wish to figure out if this thing is technology rather than being
Okay.
so reckless.
I will, you don't even have to roll for that. This thing is definitely not biological. I mean, it looks, yeah, it looks just like a piece of gray plastic, like with a fan in the middle. You can definitely see the fan now that it's about to enter the helicopter.
How close to the helicopter? How close to the roof is the helicopter at the moment? If we touch
It's
down,
hovering about 5 feet, like the pilot was starting to land, and like the door,
okay,
pulled the door
5
open.
feet means I'm diving straight out. Ansem is diving straight out of the helicopter, just in case.
All right. Ansem, you dive out, you take a tumble. It's okay, you're a fist agent. You can take a 5-foot tumble, no problem. Does anyone else do anything?
I think I'll also
yeah, I
get
think
out here.
Was it?
I
yeah,
think
no,
I'll
Scott,
also
like,
get
really
out
gonna
here.
stand up, like flick his cape out behind him, and then like brace for a punch, and then like wait till the thing gets close enough where he can just punch it.
Incredible.
Awesome. Okay, I guess that'd be a force roll. Sounds like you got a battle stance going.
Yes. That's 11.
Nice.
Good roll.
Yeah, you you punch the hell out of this thing, and it actually like dents in one of the sharp corners. So now it's all like this. It goes tumbling end over end and lands on the ground, sparking. And the propeller inside, what Harker, you can tell this is some kind of like a drone. This is like a flying drone. Very experimental. It's sparking and it's barely functional. It's like trying to like lift up and then it falls back to the ground. The pilot just like lets out a and like he just like lands and politely asks you all to exit so he could get out of here.
Yeah, Clockwork's
I probably got
gonna sorry, Clockwork's gonna help everybody else get out first, and then she'll get out last.
Yeah, Locksmith's leaving.
Okay. So that's everybody off the helicopter. Sweet.
Yeah.
The pilot's like, I'm sorry, I'm not sticking around for this. Like he skedaddles. Your cowardly news chopper has abandoned you.
Hey man, I wouldn't either.
Just can't get this stuff. Harker, what can you do anything with this? She like
Yeah,
pokes the
sure.
drone with her foot.
Let me check it out. It's probably connected to something. And I'm just gonna open my computer and see if there's like, any ports on the side or like just any way to interface with this thing. And like, I know I'm invoking expert that I know enough about computers to like see if there's a way to like get into this thing.
Okay, so what you can tell is that it has some kind of, it's mounted with a camera. It has what looks like, this is bad news. It looks like it has like a metal cylindrical dart gun built into it. There's definitely a dart wedged in there. And unfortunately the it's hard drive or whatever has been smashed in by the punch. But you don't see, oddly enough, you don't see any like antenna. There's no way for it to reach any other drones if there are any. So you definitely see a camera, you definitely see a dart gun, but there's not much else that you can tell.
Well, some comedian definitely designed this, but I think we're good from here. If none of those discs are spinning, and he's just kind of like pointing at the hard drive, then should be fine. And it'll probably just like make sure this thing's like at least non-operational before they like the main thing he's worried about at the moment is making sure it's not like communicating any signals into the building like immediately, even though we came in via helicopter.
Yeah, oddly enough, that's one that does strike you as odd that this thing doesn't seem to have a radio or any way to contact. Because if this is some kind of security drone, it doesn't seem to have a way to call in backup.
Yeah, in any case, it's just totally autonomous. It's not talking to anything, which is I'm saying that in character. My Harker voice is not much different than my real voice.
Can I attempt to fish one of the darts out of the mechanism?
Yeah. How are you going to do that? Are you going to like try to like somehow like delicately get in there and take it out? Or are you just gonna like try to rip?
I do have the contortionist trait, so I'm going to say that like I move my fingers in such a weird way that they can go around what would otherwise be really difficult to, like putting together an IKEA shelf where the corner's really hard to do with the screwdriver, but because the way my arm moves, I can do it much easier. That at a micro level to get the dart out of the mechanism with my fingers.
Okay. You definitely can do that. I'm gonna reread this here. So you can always
I'll
fit
roll
through small openings. Yeah, okay. I would say you definitely could get in there without rolling, but let's have you roll just to see if you're able to fish out the dart without getting stabbed.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should I roll for that?
I guess reflex.
Reflex? Okay, give me 1 second. That's a ultra success, my friend. That's a 13.
Heck
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you have how can I make this an ultra success? You are
2
now
darts.
confident you can harvest these darts. I will say you no longer have to roll to fish them out. Like you now know the trick to it. And you even get like wrapped around the dart is like a little, I guess maybe it's imprinted with instructions, avoid stabbing yourself. You will be paralyzed for 1 minute. So it's a
Ooh,
temporary paralysis effect.
cool. All right. I'll communicate to the team that the darts cause paralysis, and I'll pocket one. And then I don't know if there's any other ones anybody else could pocket one if they'd like to.
It looks like one per buzzard.
Oh,
Just
okay.
has the
In
one
that case,
pocket.
then I'll pocket the one dart if that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Who equipped the security drone with one shot? Jeez. The more I think about the design of this thing, the more I'm like, it's kind of almost begins to trail off, like in what seems to be a sort of like smart yet delirious state of like tangent. Again, man's not getting enough sleep, but he's also not super reckless about it either.
They'd only put a warning that specific on the side of the dart itself. Someone had been extremely negligent and actually stabbed themselves with it. So I'm guessing we're not going to bump into much resistance here.
All right.
That's the
Anyway.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I just said that's the hope.
Nice.
So there are skylights, right?
Yeah. So not far away, there are just they're almost like angled up, kind of like little triangular shaped popping up out of the building, and then they go back down. Maybe I'd say 40 or 50 feet away. There is also closing in on the horizon 3 more buzzards.
Oh.
Perfect.
Ansem's gonna pick himself up, brush off his knees because he's now got dirt on his suit trousers. Which is just not. It's really not what you want when you're trying to be intimidating, and just run straight for one of the nearest skylight and check it for any latches, locks, anything that could be preventing him from throwing it open immediately.
There is a padlock.
Oh no, a padlock.
Yes.
I think I have the key for that. Ansem is going to pull out his silenced pistol and fire straight at the padlock.
Yes. You blast the padlock. You don't have to roll for this. Is Fist. Guns are keys in Fist. The padlock
So true.
is blown to smithereens. Unfortunately, now the 3 drones are definitely like stepping it up, and you hear them coming. These are by no means, you couldn't tell before with the helicopter like right overhead, but now that you're here on this quiet rooftop, you can hear these buzzards coming a mile away, and you hear the fans go into like overdrive as they're rushing. So the skylight is open, but any minute now there's going to be
Parker's already inside. He
Diving
jumped in
straight
like the
in.
moment it opened.
Diving
Right,
straight in.
I'm not doing
immediate.
this.
all right. How about oops, there's my notes. Clockwork.
I think similar to getting everybody off the helicopter first, she'll make sure everybody else goes through the skylight first, and then we'll jump down after everybody is seen to be safe, if they are indeed safe.
Locksmith, as Ansem was trying to looked at the lock and saw it, he pulled out his keyring and then saw that Ansem shot the lock off, and he's like, oh. And then he puts it away and then like does like a weird contortion-y dive into like a parkour roll through the skylight.
Spotlight does the classic, like take a single step, fall, and then superhero landing.
Yeah. And Harker, did you say you
So he's already going through the
Oh,
skylight
nice.
like the moment it
Okay.
opens. As I said.
So Clockwork, everybody is inside, everybody is safe. What do you do?
Great. I will jump down in after them then.
Nice. I'm just going to assume you close the skylight. So
yeah,
as not to
I was
allow
going to
them-
say, can I pull the
Oh,
skylight closed behind me as well?
yes. So you manage to get it closed just in time, and the 3 buzzards, they all but like bump into the glass, and then they begin like circling over it in kind of like this scanning pattern, looking for a way in. They do not find one as of yet.
So what's the room that we're in like right now? Like
You
paint me the
are
picture.
find yourselves in the top floor. This is the administration side. And there's a lot of like cubicles. There's a big boxy coffee machine dispenser where you can get like a styrofoam cup of black coffee. In the far end of the wide open area, it looks like there's like a desk for perhaps a secretary would sit there, and beyond that, a closed office behind some like, like that fake wood, like particle board stuff. Kind of like you get the feeling that's like a big boss room, like that's where whoever runs this place works.
Is there
yeah.
anybody around, or is it just empty?
So as you look around, you notice there are plenty of, it looks like there might have been a fight in this room. Some of the chairs are overturned. There's papers strewn about. There's a couple of very like boxy, like 80s computer terminals, all black with green text, but they've been dragged off their desks and just kind of like lay there on their sides. You don't
All right,
see anyone though.
All right. Well, then Parker, in a state of delirious hypervigilance, sees the coffee machine and just full sprints towards it.
I'm gonna
Ansem.
start. Sorry, go ahead.
No, after you, man.
I was just gonna say I start putting the chairs back where they belong.
Oh no.
Oh,
He's too
I forgot.
precious.
You all get a war dice for the chopper chatter in case you haven't added that yet. So
Completely forgot about
Oh yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. See, your tidy, your tidy chair correction reminded me to tidy my own notes
that.
and make sure everyone has war dice. So Parker, you make a beeline for the coffee machine. There's just a big old coffee machine. What do you want to get?
I think I'm just gonna like the the quickest path to a coffee. Like no extra like no extras. I just straight black coffee.
Heck yeah. A little styrofoam cup pops down. There's like a splurt, like a really unappetizing splurt as the coffee just like sprays all into it. It's right there, it's just waiting for you. Just a lovely
Well,
cup of coffee.
I take the coffee. Not like
You
immediately chug, but like I'm just
reach
like
in
in a
for the
better state.
coffee. And then a yellow metal clamp like hand bursts through the coffee machine and grabs your hand and starts trying to drag you into the coffee machine. What do you do?
Can I still grab the coffee cup?
The tragedy of this is not just that something has got you and is trying to drag you into a machine you cannot possibly fit into and will smash you to pieces. The tragedy is that it spilled the coffee when it grabbed your wrist, and there's
Dang it,
this
I was
like
gonna throw it at the machine.
it all kind of spilled down the funnel.
Okay. Well, immediate regret on the coffee play. It's so over. Anyway. I'm probably just gonna try and like break free of the grip at this point. There doesn't seem to be much else I can do with that aside from like give like a little like yell for help, like, hey guys, I think I see what the problem is here.
Go ahead and give me a force roll to try and break away.
Can Ansem assist with this by running over and attempting to pull Harker out of the machine?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
So how about we'll just say you have a +1 on this force roll with Ansem
Okay.
kind of dragging
Giving
you
you
back.
tug.
One. That is a partial success with a 9.
Partial success. Okay, so the good news is with your combined strength, you have cleared your wrist free of this thing. The bad news is you kind of like helped pull what was grabbing you out from its hiding place. It's a very like industrial looking square yellow painted robot, very boxy, almost like a large jet ink printer or something. It's mostly featureless except for it has an antenna in the back and it's got this one really mean looking clampy arm, and on little tire treads it begins advancing on you with the clamp. Let's cut over to either Spotlight or Locksmith or Clockwork. Is there anything the three of you would do to prevent this clampy?
Probably much more dramatic than necessary. A flying spinning kick. You know.
But it's cute. Wait, but it's cute.
Weirdly cute. Yeah.
Wait, it's oddly. Are all coffee machines like this, or is this not a normal coffee machine?
That's a 7.
Okay. So you launch, you land the kick, but now you're kind of like grappled up with this thing. Like its arm is kind of like hooked around your leg. It hasn't quite landed the grapple, the clamps yet on you, but it's trying to like reel you in. Oh, and I'm sorry, just to be clear, like this isn't exactly the coffee machine attacking. This is like a killer robot that was hiding in the coffee machine as a surprise for people who like coffee.
It's staying place to hide.
Yeah. Who hasn't hidden in a coffee machine?
Honestly, though, like so smart because immediately worked.
Yeah, I mean,
the second we got in there,
you can't fault it, really.
Your man Harker is addicted to coffee.
All the robots were like, "That's such a dumb place to hide," and he was like, and the robot was like, "Watch,
Yeah, bet. Watch this."
It's been in there for like 8 hours. Just like,
Yeah. Someone's gonna want a really bad cup of coffee any day now. Trust me.
Can I attempt? Oh, sorry. So the result of the what happened as a result of the kick? I'm sorry.
Real quick, could you spotlight, did you roll damage on that?
I have not done that, no.
Please do so.
Nope. 5 damage.
Nice. So it looks like this thing is very dented in, and most of its staying power is just keeping your leg all like grappled up. It's almost like you're in a wrestling move with this thing. It looks like it really can't take that much more damage though. Coffee Bot, as much as we loved it, is not long for this world.
Don't do that.
Clockwork, what do you do?
So this robot is kind of it's like pretty tied up, grappling with my 2 squad mates, right? So
Yes.
what would be the order of operations for me to run up around behind it? Because it's like moved out into the room now, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to move up behind it and then grab the antenna that was on the back of its head and like pull it off if I can.
Absolutely. Yeah, it snaps away. You now have it like a aluminum, it feels like this really cheesy, cheap and metal antenna. It could extend it if you need to point to anything on a map. You now have
great.
that covered.
Oh, incredible.
And like sparks are coming out from where the antenna snapped. But you have acquired an antenna, and if it could receive or send communications before, it looks like that's not an option anymore.
Okay, great.
Locksmith.
I'm just gonna run up and hit it with my keyring.
Heck
like
yeah.
It's pulling on people, it's pushing people, it's like it's just in the perfect position for me to just run up and just knock on it with the keyring.
Yeah, give me a force roll there. Smash away.
Coming up. No, it's a failure. It's a 5.
No.
I want to spend a war die to add a +6.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
thank you.
Okay, what had you rolled?
A 5, so that's an 11.
That is a success. You just smashed the key ring. This robot, maybe you just aimed like right where its like computer brain is or something, but that's all it took. The grapply arm that had Spotlight so tangled up, it just kind of like falls with a clunk, and Coffee surprise robot has been defeated.
Gone but never forgotten. Not in my heart.
You've killed a robot.
Parker just goes to get another cup of coffee.
Someone up the kill count immediately.
Okay, we're at the hour mark, so how about we take a quick 5-minute break?
Sure.
I'm gonna grab
All right,
some
Oh,
soda.
okay. Sounds like a good idea.
Great. I'll be right back. So is everyone ready to resume? Sweet.
Yes.
Indeed, yes.
So just to paint the scene here, we have Parker, you wanted to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Um,
I still want my coffee.
so good news, bad news. You can still get the coffee, but like the part that holds the cup and even dispenses the cup has been smashed to pieces. However, if you would like to try and like water fountain some scalding hot coffee, like just kind of like get in there and drink it, that is an option. It depends on your dedication to
Uh,
caffeine.
Maybe. I feel like because of the description of that, I have to try it. Like,
Harker, I must implore you, regardless of how much you're jonesing for a cup of Joe right now, I really need you to not burn your entire mouth on scalding hot coffee.
I mean, yeah, you're right. He just kind of like as much as he wants to do that, like the like a sensible voice coming in probably like overall dissuades him of the track.
I mean,
At least at that.
first objective, deal with the situation here. Secondary objective, find Harker some coffee that's not going to cause him some permanent damage.
Is there a door around here?
Yes. So there are some elevator doors at one end of the office, and excuse me, there is the kind of like, it looks like where the administrator boss works at the other end.
Is there like maybe like a utility closet or something like that?
There is.
Can I go through that door and walk into like a Dunkin' Donuts that I've been to get Harker some coffee really quick?
Boston.
Yes,
Like
you
just for
can.
flavor, just to go in and like like we don't even have to play out the scene. Like I just walk through the door, everybody's standing there for 2 minutes, and then I don't even explain myself, and then I walk through with like a little styrofoam thing with like 4 cups of coffee, and I'm like, I don't know how you take it. So there's some with milk, there's some without, there's some with sugar, there's some
Honestly,
without.
dude, I don't mind any type of coffee at this point. Good man. And he
I
just kind
just
of almost raises it in like a cheers like thing before just like
this is
ginger
both
sipping.
this is both my love language, acts of service, but also I really don't need you operating another one of these machines. so I'm sure I've known you for at least an hour, and according to our talk on the helicopter, maybe longer than that. But we got to get you some help for this coffee thing, man. I think that just for the foreseeable future, if there's a coffee machine, let's just stay away from it.
Just like a milestone appears in like a Harker's like role or whatever. Find cure for caffeine addiction.
There is none.
I know there is none, but
Yes, I regret to inform you that it doesn't exist.
rip.
I find more caffeine helps.
Yeah,
If I-
always.
Yeah.
Once the coffee the coffee parade is over, Clockwork would love to have a look at. You said there were documents scattered around in this office
Yeah.
area, right? I'd love
Yeah.
to have a look at those and see if I can discern what this facility is used for, because it's got this whole R&D level that we can't get access to from the outside.
Absolutely. So go ahead and let's see here. So I will say you will definitely find some tasty information on the R&D lab. If you just also give me a tactical roll on top of that, you may unlock some bonus information, or terrible things may befall all of you.
Great.
I love terrible things.
Now I know what to get you for the holidays.
That's a 7, a partial.
Okay. So you are able to find a lot of there's so you're able to find some inner office memos, and it's people talking about how security conscious this place is, what a pain it is. One of the elevators because there's look like double doors, but like it turns out there's two elevators, and one leads to the lobby, the other leads to R&D. But you need they need a key card. As far as they know, only old man Shaw, their boss, has the key card, and he's a real stickler. So like he has to escort everybody, and then it's awkward because you're like you got to go and like knock, and you're like, I got to go downstairs to get something. And, he just rolls his eyes and drops whatever he's doing and makes a big fuss, and they think it's all ridiculous.
Let's go to that big office then. Let's get straight in that big office.
The
Sure,
partial is you hear whistling coming from the janitor closet that Locksmith had gone through.
Oh,
And it's getting louder. What do y'all do?
I think Clockwork's gonna try and find a position in this room where she'll be able to see anything that comes out of the door, but is partially concealed from view, if I can.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna Locksmith is going to like stand next to the door, but on the side that the door like opened, so that when the door opens, it's like blocking me from view.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stand on that side and hold my key ring in preparation for what comes out.
How about Ansem?
I have a terrible plan.
Yeah.
Ansem is gonna get his silence pistol, stow it inside his jacket pocket. He's then gonna walk up to the door, open the door, and I want to invoke the gangster you can intimidate enemies without rolling, and just flash his pistol at whatever is there to intimidate them.
So the door open. I mean, you open the door. You see a man dressed as a janitor, mid-50s, kind of like long, messy, dark hair. He's got like a big old key ring. He's carrying a mop. Although Ansem, I will say, like with your kind of like gangster past, your kind of like criminal underbelly past, there's something about the way this janitor is carrying the mop. It looks a little bit more like someone like standing at the ready to hit someone with a mop than like a casual just walking around with a mop. Something is off about this man's body language. But when he sees you, you've got your intimidation going, and he's like, kind of jumps back. He was not expecting this.
Cool. Just give me the keys now. Flashing the gun still, trying to get intimidation up.
He's like, yeah, no need for that. He unclasps it and he hands it to you. And he's like, this job's not worth getting shot over.
Good. He takes the keys, stows them on his belt, puts the pistol away, then closes the door behind him.
Close the door.
Close the door, yeah. Got what we need.
You close the door, and after a moment, the whistling begins again, and it gets further away from the door.
I suppose that worked.
I believe in violence.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
Nah. Don't matter, does it? Got keys.
Again, I take out my key ring like my name is Locksmith. I'm gonna take one of the keys on my key ring off, and I'm gonna jam it into the lock of the door that the janitor's in, and then I'm gonna like knock it sideways so that he can't get out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You lock him in there.
Yeah.
For sure. Your name's Locksmith. You don't have to roll to mess with the
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. Thanks for seeing eye to eye on that with me. And then I just look at everybody else and I go, just for safekeeping. He's got
Yes,
a lot
of
of
course.
he's got a lot of room in there. I went to a Dunkin' in there.
That you did.
All right, so we've got the elevator down to the lobby, and the other one that needs a key card on one side, and then we have the administrator's office on the other. What we all do?
Admin office seems like a shout for now, to be fair. There's got to be something useful in there.
Yeah, like trying to find a computer, like especially with like a high level access, is probably like a really good idea right now.
I don't even care about the lobby anymore now that we're here. I remember it was such a big deal for us, like lobby, roof, lobby, roof, and now I don't care at all about the lobby. I want to go through that wood paneled entrance to the administrative offices.
The tasteful wood grain.
Yeah.
Like an American Psycho moment where like I'm just admiring the woodwork on the way into the tastefulness of it. Oh my god.
Wait a minute. Didn't you also have a business card? Should I be concerned over it?
It was me the whole time.
No.
No.
I did have a business card, but I don't think
Patrick Bateman.
yeah. But yeah, that's hilarious actually. No, but yeah, I'll start making my way toward that. Even though we already have keys. I'm backup keys.
Okay. And I'm just gonna say, the door's locked.
Oh my god, it's your moment.
Holy shit. Okay, so according to sorry, let me check my sheet here. According to doors, I have a method for pushing through locked barricaded doors that works every time but has an inconvenient downside, and you tell me what. So I think that my method, it says like lockpicks, bombs, or a heavy boot. I think I'll just I think on my key ring I have a lockpick.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to overcomplicate it. And I'll attempt to lockpick the door into the offices.
Okay. I will say that the inconvenient downside is with your, what shall I say, spotty memory. You have like a mnemonic device that you need to open a door, right? Like it's not muscle memory. It's something you have to consciously remind yourself via loud, annoying rhyme. It's inconvenient.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So not like you have to scream it, but like if someone's on the other side of the door, they'll probably hear you like da 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 da.
Got it. I wish in all of my years of living my life that right now I could recall an annoying rhyme, and I can't. I can't think of a single rhyme that's also time appropriate for 1984. I mean, could it be, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, could it just be like Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to get in tune with the lock, I just really like forcedly, like I have to do it so there's no decorum or whatever. I'm just like, Mary had a little lamb, and as the notes hit like a that's when you hear like the things inside click.
Yeah.
Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow, and then the lock opens up.
Yes.
There's just a very loud sip from like 5 feet behind you. What the fuck are you doing?
It's the only way I can. It's one of the few things I remember.
Just like does another loud sip. All right then.
Don't question it. It's just how it works.
Hey, don't worry, man.
I mean,
You know,
some things you can never forget.
It's true.
Clockwork has been like playing with the retractable antenna, just like opening it and then closing it again, and then opening it and then closing it again. And at this, she's like, wincing a little bit, and then she closes it all the way, puts it in a pocket, and walks to the other side of the room and takes cover behind one of the desks there, so that she has a line of sight into the through the doors when they open. And she's posted up with the sniper down the sides.
Okay, who would actually, given this is Fist and chances are something's going to try to kill you, who would like to open the door?
I'll say a spotlight will open it very 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 dramatically to theatrics and all that.
Okay, Ansem, you got to open the last door. So
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
I was gonna
so,
say I also got almost murdered by a robot already, so I think it's time for somebody else.
um Spotlight, you throw it open dramatically. Do you pose? Is there like a post door opening pose?
Yeah, it's like arm extended, kind of like a duelist's like side profile.
Yes. So inside the office, you see uh this is none other than your contact, Paul, the very person who made the phone call to Fist. Um, he's backed all the way up at the end of the office, and his hands are raised because facing him are two more of those yellow grabby bots. And they both spin around to face you, Spotlight. And you see in their grabby hands, they each have little revolvers.
Hell
And they
yeah.
open fire at you. What do you do?
Oh boy. I think probably like half close the door to use it as like cover.
Sounds
No,
good.
actually, no, that's not very spotlight thing to do. I think he'd like, kind of like get low to the ground and kind of like, run across the room, keep flying out behind him towards
So
him, and
are
he'd
you
like
running towards them or away from them?
towards them, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
then kind of like zigzaggy, I guess. And then,
Awesome.
super flashy uppercut to one of them.
Okay, give me a reflex roll, and then we'll get to Clockwork. We'll get to your sniping in a second.
There. Ooh, yes. Yeah, that's 7.
That's a partial. All righty then.
Could I give him a war dice?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll spend my war dice to make that a 13.
Oh,
Oh, very nice.
absolutely.
It's just such a cool scene that I would love for it to be ultra successful.
Yeah. So I will say the ultra success is not only do you deal damage, but you disarm it. You maybe you chop the pistol out of its little clampy hand or kick the pistol out of its clampy
Oh no,
hand.
it's in like kind of like fluid motion where he like puts one hand over it, pushes its arm down, both kind of like arm lock, pushes the arm down, rising kicks, and then the robot drops it.
Yeah, totally. Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
It's 2 damage.
Nice. And now it's disarmed. Uh all right. Clockwork, you said you had some snipey action going.
I do. So this the trait sniper is if you have prep time and the enemy is unaware of your presence and you remain stationary, you can roll 3d6 to attack and use the best 2 dice. And if you succeed, you deal the maximum possible damage for the weapon.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we've met all of those conditions, then I would love to do that.
Yes, yeah. You
I would
had
say
time to prepare,
I
and
could-
they're focused entirely on Spotlight, so I don't think they've seen
yeah.
you yet.
I was gonna say when
Yes.
Spotlight does that like duck down to run forward into the room, that's when she would take her shot because I'm imagining like the cloak is like flapping up behind him and obscuring their view down the hallway, down the line of sight. So yeah, so we're rolling 3d6.
And were you going to fire at the disarmed one who's taking a little bit of damage, or the other one?
I will fire at the other one since it's all happening simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Sequence of events. So it's flash player dice for just a straight up roll, isn't it?
Pardon me. Oh yeah.
So a 3, a 4, and a 1.
So that'd be a 7.
That's 7, yeah. Which would be a partial success.
Yeah. All right. The partial success is you have definitely shot this bot, but all of a sudden, this is definitely not how things work, but I'm just gonna narrate it like this.
Sure.
You notice like a beeping sound coming from the antenna in your inventory,
Uh-oh.
and both their antennas beep. Your antenna answers, and then there's like a responding beep from the back of the room behind one of the desks as a third killer bot comes around the corner not far from you.
Uh-oh.
So the partial is that they have called in backup.
Okay, cool.
But go ahead and roll. Oh, maximum damage. That's right.
Yeah, so my sniper rifle is 1d6 plus 2 damage. That would be 8 damage to the robot that I shot.
It is dead.
That's
Its
a
final
great
act was
trait.
calling in help. Yeah.
Sniper is very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So-
can confirm.
Let's see here. Harker. This bot is closing in on you. Just being a real jerk. It too has a little pistol. What do you do?
I was originally going to try and get one of those antennas, but I'm trying to think. Let me bring up look up hacker because I don't know if I can try to like hack it on the fly, sort of. Okay, I have to hack. Using my briefcase computer, I have to do it from a safe place unless there's like an interface on the machine.
Okay.
So
I would say, unfortunately, like it's the reasonable amount of prep time. Seems like it
Yeah.
might not be able to be used like in battle, but maybe if you saw like one of these things on patrol, like down a hallway, and like it didn't notice you,
yeah,
then you could.
it's like if I set up this thing beforehand, probably.
Right.
Where is the disarmed pistol or revolver?
That's
it
way
just, like, on
back
the floor?
in the like the administrator room in the like the head office with
Okay.
Spotlight is the only one.
Right. I don't really have many methods of defense, so I'm probably. I just feel like straight up going against this thing is going to be a somewhat bad idea. So I think I'm probably just going to like start moving to either like a safer or like running this thing around to try and like basically take a dodge action.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of other, there's cubicles and there's plenty of places you could like run and hide. If you want to just do like a reflex roll to like skedaddle out of there.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. So reflexive. That is an 8.
Heck yeah. So you manage to lose it. The partial is it kind of like gives up, and it's kind of like this like little shrug motion with the arm, and then it turns on Ansem and Locksmith. It just kind of like focuses in on you two. It's immediately given up on Harker, but now it's got you two in its sights.
Please ignore the twink with the briefcase. He is of no threat. I
Valid.
swear.
Yeah.
Can I contort myself to get like it's coming from the back of this kind of like office space that we're currently in, right? Could I contort behind one of like the computer desks and like have my pistol come out from underneath it? Like basically like hide my body in full cover, except my hand comes from underneath the desk and like blindly fires the pistol from underneath at it.
You can.
Okay.
I would say that's going to be like kind of a situational modifier. I think that'd be like a -3 to try to hit something though, because you're just like, it'd be like reaching around the corner in a room and trying to shoot people.
That's fair.
Yeah.
In that case, I will like run and slide under one of the desks, and while I'm sliding, we'll pull my pistol out and then like
hell yeah,
you know, come out the other side and fire at it.
Okay, give me a reflex roll for that.
Okay, cool. -3. I was like, I'm good actually.
Yeah.
Reflexive 9, partial success.
Heck yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool. I'll just do player dice because I know that's a 1d6. 5 damage.
Heck yeah. A bunch of sparks come flying out. Let's see here. So it's going to, so you said are you currently like out of cover, or did you slide under cover after shooting it?
I think within the timing of how everything happened, I lockpicked the door, Spotlight opened it, ran through, Clockwork sniped, and then like, so I'm kind of just like out of cover, like I'm just kind of standing near where the door was. Then when I noticed the other robot, I like turn around and then like, you know, run, dive underneath one of the desks to fire.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just say for the partial is you're kind of like put in like an awkward position. So it's going to be a moment to get back to you. Like you're just kind of like trying to recover from that cool move.
Cool.
Ansem, there's a lot of shooting going on. What do you do?
So there's one robot with a gun trained on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only one.
Yes.
Cool. Flash the pistol again. We're going full intimidation. Flash the pistol, and if that doesn't work, I'm just shooting. I pull it out and shoot straight at the eye.
Well, so that case, let me reread this. Is it like a passive ability that just like always happens, or is it something?
It is. Yeah, you can intimidate enemies without rolling, flat out.
It says without rolling. Yeah. So weirdly enough, though, the robot's not intimidated. It doesn't recognize your inherent sinister edge.
Doesn't recognize my authority. That's
right.
not on. It's getting shot in the face.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. This is like a forceful. Like you just like ah.
That is an 8.
All right, roll damage.
I was getting excited when I rolled damage. Oh wait, I always put in the wrong command as well. I was putting /damage instead of /attack. That is 4 damage.
So 4 damage is enough to do it. But the partial is that it is able to get off a shot. It wings you, right? Like shoulder, you got the hero wound for 2 damage. It doesn't even get to roll because it just
2 damage. Ooh, I've got 1 armor. Cut that down to 1.
Nice. It just like goes, but now your suit, like it goes through the suit, and now it's just all like
nobody ruins my suit.
Solidarity for the ruined suit. Right.
Not happy with that.
It's gonna take a lot more than a couple presses to fix that.
Yep. Back in
to go
the
tailor.
Room, Spotlight, you have disarmed this thing. The little security bot is like it's reaching for the gun, like its little arm is clamping for it. What do you do? Agent?
Oh, it's me. Okay.
So yeah, you're tussling with this robot. You have disarmed it, but it's now like trying to grab the gun and it's getting pretty close.
Okay. So probably back up around a tiny bit. Kick the gun away,
Nice.
and then do a little hop, hop, skip, and a jump into another like a good old push kick.
Alrighty. Go ahead and give me a force roll as you try to kick this thing.
Understandable. Uh, that's a 13.
Ooh. Okay, roll damage.
A squad of high rollers.
Six.
Heck yeah. With that, the final security sentry bot drone thing has been defeated. From the back of the office, your contact like lowers his arms. Paul Chan looks completely. He looks like he's had a really rough day. He's got like a lab coat. He's got like his little like pocket protector ID going. Uh, very much looks like someone who would work in an R&D lab for robots and such. And he's like, "Thank goodness you're here."
Well, it's okay now.
Parker just like from a cubicle, like way off. Are they done?
Yeah, can I get up? Or
Yeah. Battle's over. You're all
Yeah, all the battles are over.
I'll help Harker up from where he was hiding.
Yeah, I'm just like hiding under under a desk. And I think also immediately Harker is going to like try and also either like extract like one of the antennas, mostly because he's got a couple ideas going as to how he can leverage whatever security bots, whatever they've been using for communication.
could you give me a tactical roll for that?
That I can. Uh, and that wouldn't fall under computerology. No, that'd be like that's just straight up like mechanical stuff. So I'm probably just gonna roll straight tack for that.
Yeah.
Partial.
Okay, the partial is you're able to get a hold of it. You learn that these are kind of like short range radio communication devices. Like they're able to call for help and ping each other, but from what seems like a ridiculously short range. Like you would think that like a top tier security bot would be able to like, access anywhere in the facility, but no, you have to be like maybe one room away, which probably explains why you're not currently being swarmed by killer robots. The downside is you do know that somewhere nearby there is another one that has received the message. There was like a responding ping to it. So your contact, double check the name. Always important to double check the name.
Yeah.
Paul, he's like, thank goodness you're here. This place has been taken over. The whole computer system has been compromised. I don't know how Shaw did it, but he did it. And then he just like kind of trails off. It looks pretty traumatized by today's events.
Clockwork on the other side of the office building, standing up. She's like pulling down the bolt action. The empty casing flies off, and she like slings it over onto her shoulder. And she's gonna walk past Harker and pull out the antenna that she has in her pocket and just like hold it down for him to take.
That'll work.
You'll get
So-
more use out of this than I will.
All right, I can see if I can try and adjust the range on this thing. Whatever the case, we could use this for short range, whatever, basically.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll take that antenna. And also like just move to the admin room, I guess, from there.
I'm also gonna move into the admin room. The guy's name is Paul.
Yeah, Paul Chan.
Paul, man. So like, where's the Shaw guy? Do you know?
So he tells you that as far as he can tell, Shaw's down in R&D, and he's locked himself in there with he says he's locked himself in there with Lisa, and they've taken over the whole facility.
And who is Lisa?
So he tells you recently they were given a huge amount of money by the government to work on a ridiculous, he thinks, project. Apparently, the president, who's rather fond of movies, just saw this new movie called Terminator or something, and he wanted a Skynet. So he said they had to build a Skynet. And the frustrating part is he's been working under Shaw, and Shaw's like a relic. Like all his computer knowledge is practically from World War II. Shaw programs on punch cards, and he just gives them ridiculous orders. Build an AI out of 1985 tech. But then about a week ago, Shaw came up from his private lab in R&D, announced that he had done it, and he was going to transfer control of the entire facility over to an AI that Shaw called the Mona Lisa, which stands for Mechanized Omniscient National Awareness, and then Lisa. And Shaw wouldn't even say what the last part stood for. Top secret.
Harker just
Mechanized?
really, really wants to like beat up whoever the fuck like cleared this project. Like, because this to him is just the worst idea imaginable.
Yeah, build a Skynet. What could go wrong?
What can go wrong? It's not going to work properly.
Could have at least finished the name. It's half realized already. It's not a good sign going forward. Paul, how do we get to R&D? Are there any external entrances, or are we going to have to go down through the interior of this building?
So he says, well, there's a couple of ways that he knows. And then he kind of looks around at your group and he says, wait a minute, were there more of you?
Is everybody
Or-
everyone's in the room, right? It's
Yeah.
it's just all of us, yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm
So
afraid this is it, Paul.
he says, well, one way is that he gestures down at the robots with the big grabby arms, and he says the links there, they've been rounding people up, and they get their hands on you or their hand on you, and it drags you down these. Originally, they were designed just for the links to move throughout the building. He doesn't think it'd be. I mean, it might be possible for you to get through these like little, like basically ventilation systems on the floor, little square entries, just for the robots that people are being dragged into and pulled down to R&D. He says, so it's possible you could try to go through there, but you might need a link or something inside. The other way is just to take, and he fishes in his pockets and he pulls out a key card and he says, I've got Shaw's key card. I'm the only one else who had access. He makes me bring him things, coffee or whatever. And he kind of looks up at the coffee machine and he's like, oh,
I know how that goes.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably ask about like any computers that are still online. Mostly because as he stated that the entire network's been taken over.
Yeah.
I do have a decent idea of what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
At least from the hacker perspective.
So he tells you that the R&D computers are a closed system for security reasons, but all the computers on the administrative and the lobby are networked together if you wanted to try and mess around with those or dig up some more information. And then once you get down in R&D, you could try to like hack those computers too.
Okay, well, I guess I could try breaking up the computer and see like what else I can glean on or glean from just like searching through some files, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Which now that you mention it, Shaw has a personal computer on his desk there. The boss himself.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, definitely gonna like guess a few passwords to get into their master hacking skills.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Unless he just left it on.
Sadly, no. So go ahead and roll tactical to try and
all right.
Shaw's computer.
I love that you're a hacker and you're like, I'm gonna try and guess his password.
Basically, yeah. You know, the brute force is a thing, and also since I am an expert in computerology, I'm going to argue for superior dice on that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. So tactical superior dice, true. That is a 10, so success.
That's a success. Alrighty, let me look at my clue file here. Gotta be all...
Great, give me the deets.
Okay, so you find it looks like Shaw had a bit of a gambling problem. He's been embezzling money from the computer systems facility, which caused him to vastly overpromise what he could deliver to the government in exchange for more and more and more money, which definitely could explain why so many sensible safety protocols have been ignored in favor of just, hey, let's hand everything over to this brand new AI. Yeah, it looks like Shaw is desperate to keep the cash flowing. There's also some like cryptic comments about this Mona Lisa AI that he developed, and it's like a lot of like self-congratulatory, like truly I'm a genius, and no one that could pull this off, and that's Paul's always talking about his new recent computers. It's really the classics that are important, because when it comes to technology, it's the really old stuff that's better, right? So that's about it. Yeah. Other than that, you see that most of the Mona Lisa stuff is going to be in R&D, so you'll have to get in there to really get at it.
Gotcha.
These like link passageways, these like ventilation shafts.
Yeah.
What kind of size are we talking about? Could a person fit through there, or would you need some sort of like contortionist to fit down them?
Oh no, you could fit through, because
Right.
I'd say it's about as big as like a pretty good like igloo ice cooler kind of a thing, like
Right.
a larger, yeah. And that's about the size of all these Link robots, so you could totally fit down there. It's just
Cool.
that if you like came face to face with something, there probably you would have to be a contortionist to get around it, you know.
Okay, it would be single file.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it
Well,
sounds like the plan is either elevator or maintenance shaft. What would y'all like to do?
I think that it's, the easiest route is to just use the elevator because we've got the key. And despite being tailor-made for the shaft, I'm gonna go ahead with the elevator anyway. If that's what we end up doing. The other option sounds interesting, but the elevator sounds safe.
I think I have something planned for the elevator. So I don't have anything to mind when it comes to those shafts, but obviously we could split it up as well.
I think if it, like, well, not even a 50-50 split, but if we split between elevator and the shaft, then because there'll be the worst case, they're expecting us to go through the elevator because they will have at least some general idea that we'll have the key card because they'll know that Paul has a key card and our contact now is Paul, given that we just terminated some dudes who were trying to stop him from doing stuff. So if we do a 50-50 split, we can at least take them by surprise. Or something like that.
All right, I'm fully won over. I will go into the shaft. You don't have to talk me anymore into it. I feel at home in the shafts.
You've pigeonholed yourself as a guy who goes through small spaces.
It's true. I only have one expertise.
You do it so well.
There's like this awkward moment where like, but who could we possibly
Yeah,
find
who
to
would
go
we?
through
And then
there?
I'm there playing with my keyring.
Okay, so
And
we're
at least-
splitting up. So who's all heading to the shaft?
I for sure am.
Locksmith is.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think Spotlight will just probably just take the lift.
Okay.
Ansem could happily go shaft because he's got a silenced weapon, and therefore they won't be expecting him.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Important question. Who would like to go in the front?
I will, given my job is being very distracting.
Okay. So let's see here. Spotlight, you use the key card, you open up the elevator. It looks perfectly fine. There's only two buttons. There's like R&D and then administrative floor. You two head into the shaft, and how about we take another 5-minute break here, and
Sure.
then we will
Cool, cool.
conclude.
It's time to take out the Mona Lisa once and for all. Yeah.
Just like a glass onion, you know.
Yeah. We have to fight the tiniest painting you've ever seen.
Terrifying.
I love fighting paintings. Dorian Gray, scared shitless.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I picked a way that Harker was going. I think I'm gonna go through the shaft. Or at least
Okay.
try to go through the
Okay.
shaft as well. Though if I can, I don't know how much like time we're using before like any sneaking. I think he'd want to like I'm gonna just put is it just in the chat here. He's just kind of like basically write like a kill code and just kind of like mostly shut his briefcase and like get the antenna, try to connect it.
Okay.
So he just like can just like run a quick line of like realistically that command basically it just deletes the root directory, so it just kind of stops it from working
Right.
via straight lobotomy.
So you're hoping to be able to like take out like the link bots with it or whatever will
Yeah,
connect to the
like at least
antenna?
like one to just
Nice.
like like send it through the antenna and basically tell them to run that.
Sweet. Okay. So how about we just to have it make it fun, we could just have you roll tactical like when we get there to that moment.
Sure. Sounds
instead
good.
of yeah.
So that's probably the best option.
Okay, so that is we've got Harker, Ansem, and Locksmith in the shaft,
Hell yeah.
and then Clockwork and Spotlight. You head into the elevator. It's
I
got
have I have a question about how about the elevator setup
Yeah.
if I can. So it's two, is it like one shaft with two elevators that only go to certain floors, or are they two completely separate shafts?
I guess that's a good question.
It's a very specific question for a thing that I want to do.
It's a very specific question. I'm gonna say it's the same shaft, just because up until this point, everything's been like a little shoddy here, right?
Sure.
So it
They don't have
feels
stairs,
like
so I mean,
it feels like they might have made that mistake where
Sure.
there is a single shaft with the two elevators inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Clockwork, when she goes into the elevator, she'd like to climb up through that like ceiling vent that's at the top of like elevators to climb up into like the shaft itself.
Yeah.
And she wants to climb over to um the other like wire that's next to the elevator, so that when the elevator that we're in moves away, she can aim through the door, the elevator door when it opens, so that she can be like set and ready.
Okay. Oh, I see. So you want to be like up on top of the elevator, like peering down through the door to shoot whoever might be out there when the door is open.
Yeah, she effectively wants to be like outside of the elevator itself, but inside the shaft, so that
Yeah.
she can be like hanging on like a cable that's
Yeah.
being used to move the elevator, so that she's aiming out of the elevator door once the elevator moves away.
Okay. Yeah.
She'll communicate to Spotlight to like, when you leave, hit a button so that the elevator moves.
I like how we're really hitting all the like the cheesy action movie tropes. We've got elevator shaft shenanigans. We're climbing through the vents.
You gotta do something with an elevator shaft when it shows up.
The coffee machine tried to kill somebody.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Classic trope.
There's a terrible movie that I love called Maximum Overdrive.
oh
that-
yes, I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay. It has a killer like soda vending machine that starts launching the sodas at people with lethal precision. So good.
Amazing.
All right. So does that sound good? So Spotlight, are you going to ride on the inside of the elevator as it heads down to the R&D lab?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, on the inside of the elevator, yeah.
Okay. Um the elevator travels down. Seems like the plan's gone off without a hitch. The doors open, and you see there's just like a large room with like a lot of, it very much looks like an R&D lab. There's like half built robots. There's tables with schematics. There's big old computer monitors everywhere. They have big computers on the side, and an entire wall is lined with it looks like hostages. Like there's about 15 or 20 people who have been tied up and gagged. There are no killer robots in sight, or that you can see from the elevator. These people look almost curiously unguarded. What do you do?
Probably rush over and try and get them free, I think.
You rush over, And as you're like, untying their bonds and stuff, the second one of them gets ungagged, they yell, "Look out!" And you hear from behind you what looked initially like a bunch of half-finished robots revealed itself to be a surprisingly functional, really, really big robot that lifts itself off the table and looks over at you, Spotlight, and like this big, like modulated robot voice says, "Target acquired." As the
Really bad time for me
robot
not to be in the elevator.
comes after you.
I see.
I will say, this thing is so big, it is, you can snipe it from your snipey position.
Oh, I see.
But it's definitely an armored individual.
Okay. In that case, I will take my shot right now.
Alrighty.
Got a 5, a 6, and a 3, so that's 11.
Yeah.
Which would be a success anyway. And then it's max damage, which was 8 last time, so that would be 8 damage, minus any armor that it has.
Can I add a ward out of that? The
Do
damage?
the damage?
Yeah, you can use
Yes,
ward
you
out at
can.
damage.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Let me. That's 4 die. That's a 4.
So that's 12
So
total.
12 total, yeah.
Wow. So
Nice,
you
Harker.
blast one of this thing's arms clear off. And it goes scattering to the ground. A bunch of sparks fly up. The floor gets all scratched. And Spotlight, its remaining arm begins to whirl and come to life. It is a chain gun. And it looks like it's about to open fire, not just at you, but all the hostages who are unable to get away. What do you do?
Strafing as much as possible to, like, bring it round, and then jump up and try push the gun away from the hostages.
Okay. So that sounds like a forceful roll.
Definitely won't complain about that. 8.
8.
I think I probably
I'm
will
gonna-
spend a war dice on that though.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
We almost lost some hostages there, so it's good.
11.
11. That is a success. Yeah, Spotlight. Do you want to kind of describe how are you like just like pulling its chain gun arm down? Or are you just kind of like
Yeah, pretty much.
nice. So the chain gun, it coughs to life and all the bullets start like basically blasting about a 2-foot hole in the ground. This is definitely like a half-finished war machine that's blasting away, but you have successfully kept it for the time being from shooting anyone, including yourself. And we will step away for a moment into this totally cool not elevator shaft. This service tunnel thingy. Yeah, air vents. That's right. That's what we're calling them. Which one of you are going first? Because it's like single file.
Not
I think
me.
Locksmith. I think Locksmith would be going first.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be first.
Harker's probably going to be in the middle just so he's like surrounded by people who are stronger than him. Just as like a precaution, because he's still unarmed, by the way. He just has a computer that he can hit an enter key on.
And Anson will be at the back.
Nice. So you travel for quite a ways. It's kind of like winding all around. It's a very indirect route. Every now and then, like, it starts to slant down a little bit more, so it's almost like you're maybe like taking laps around the building to get to R&D. Three alarming things happen at once. First, there's a Harker. You have like a. Did you actually make the antenna a little bit longer range?
Well, so that's what I would like to try. Mostly just so I can like prepare that like kill command and try to send it to as many like devices or as many of the robots that I can.
Well, we'll just say that you get a ping on the antennas as if one of the link bots with the arms are coming closer. And sure enough, Ansem, you do hear like the distinctive treads of a link bot coming up from behind you all. Simultaneously, here's something new. From up ahead, Locksmith, you hear like it's not the buzz of a buzzard, it's not like the quiet hum tank treads. What you hear is like a little tap 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 tap, clank 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 clank, like a scuttering, like a really unpleasant metallic scuttering coming towards you. So I think since the scuttering is coming right at you, we're locked into you for a moment. What do you do? Because it's coming around the corner and it's getting louder and echoey.
Me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will take a page from Clockwork and I will take my pistol out and just like sit there and wait for it to turn the corner so that I can fire it off, presuming that Harker's device and or Ansem's other gun are currently indisposed.
All right. From around the corner comes two roughly hand-sized metal spiders with like little suction cup feet that clink 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 clink, and on their backs they have, it looks like something, it doesn't quite look like the trank darts, but they've got something, some little projectile device. And go ahead and give me a reflex roll because it sounds like you had a shot ready. Locksmith.
As I fire, I call out to Ansem like, I get one, you get the other, and I'm going to roll my reflex roll.
Okay.
Every robot is cute. I'm sorry, they can't be scary.
Yeah,
It's impossible.
Yeah, you're like, and around the corner are the two cutest things you've ever seen in your whole life, and they might have a gun on top, but they're adorable. I got an 8, partial success.
You got a partial. Go ahead and you roll damage.
Play the dice. 1, 6. 5 again, consistent. 5
Heck
damage.
yeah. So here's the partial. You successfully kill one of these spiders. These cute spiders. These cute little robots dead. Unfortunately, the other one you find out that was a tiny, cute little laser cannon, and it fires the most adorable laser. It hits your pistol, which glows bright red, and you're forced to drop it.
No.
You don't take damage, but you're not going to be able to use that pistol till it cools down.
That's
and
fair.
it's like it lands, it's like smoking and sizzling. It smells
It's
awful.
cute and it has lasers.
Ansem, so you can shoot at but you have like 2 people ahead of you in a narrow passage, so you're going to get, this would be like a -2 on your attack. You also have coming up from behind you one of the link like arm bots. What do you do?
Is so this arm bot, it obviously it has an arm, but is that arm armed?
You don't know yet, you haven't
Oh
seen this
yeah.
one.
Oh, Cool. I'm fully gonna ready. I'm gonna ready to shoot the arm bot
Mhm.
if it's armed. If it's not really a threat because all it's gonna do is drag me through the vents, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be like a ride.
Yeah,
So
free
this
pass,
is a
isn't it?
good news, bad news situation for Ansem. The good news is this arm bot, it doesn't have a gun.
Way!
It has a knife.
Oh no!
And it's like wildly, like mechanically chopping back and forth, getting closer and closer to your legs.
You know I'm shooting that thing. I'm shooting it.
Okay.
That's a Tonberry. Kill it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Cool, 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 cool. Force roll. That is a 9.
Okay, partial success.
Is he gonna
Go ahead
stab me
and
in the
roll
ankle?
damage.
Is he gonna stab me in the ankle? That's 6 damage.
Holy cats. Um so, so it does stab you in the ankle. Normally, I would say a partial doesn't result in damage, but this is such like a dire situation. You're trapped in a tunnel with a knife bot, and you're like fire flying behind you. The knife comes down just above like your Achilles tendon. You take 3 damage.
Oh, 3 damage. That's cool. That is cool. I'm now down to half health.
Okay. In the middle, Harker, you're kind of wedged between two people that are being murdered by robots. Would you like to do anything?
Yeah. At least I would like to try to, like, as I established, like
Yes.
kind of hit enter and send that like kill command. Uh, I want to try for both of them, but if I can only pick one, then I'll pick the other spider bot.
Okay. Cool, cool. Go ahead and roll tactical to see how well this works.
All right. And does that fall under my expertise?
Yes.
Okay. That is an 8. It's a partial.
Partial. So I'll say the partial is you send the kill code, it somehow gets mixed up and shuts down the knife bot. The laser spider is still in action.
All right.
And
Not too
as
bad.
the laser trains on poor locksmith, who doesn't even have a gun anymore because it's all on fire, sizzling, and they cast heat metal on it. We cut back to the hostage room. Let's see here. Clockwork, you have just seen Spotlight save the hostages momentarily. What would you
Sure.
like to do?
Okay, so I'm still dangling in the elevator shaft. The loudest gunshot that like echoes through this basically giant acoustic chamber
Yeah.
has just rung out. So we're no longer being stealthy by any means. But Clockwork is gonna again sling the sniper rifle over her shoulder and tighten the strap so that she doesn't lose it. And then she's gonna swing her way over through the open elevator door into the hostage room.
Okay.
And so we've got Spotlight moving the Gatling gun out of the way, which is like blowing a hole in the floor, I think you said.
Yeah, it's like eating away at the
Yeah.
floor.
Hmm. Um, Looking around, is there going to be any safe place for the hostages to be like ushered towards, or is this basically just a huge open room that's always going to get hit by gunfire?
It's a huge open room. About the only thing that's immediately obvious is the elevator. Like, but that'd be a lot of time to get them all gathered up and moved over
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Okay. I think when Clockwork swings through, she's gonna reach back, hit the elevator button to recall the elevator back down. And then she's just gonna unsling the sniper rifle again, take aim at the robot and fire a shot.
All right.
Just a straight up sniper
Yep.
rifle shot.
Standard
so that'll
shot.
be, what shall I roll for this?
I guess just reflex.
It's a 9 or a partial.
Okay. So the partial is you shoot it, go ahead and roll damage.
Sure, it's 1d6 plus 2. That would be 7 damage.
Heck yeah. So a couple of things happen at once. You you hit the robot, and it's a tremendous shot, goes right through it. It shakes off Spotlight. It's kind of like its arm just shakes him off, and the chain gun fire tries to aim at you, but it can't quite hit. Instead, it hits the ceiling over your head. You hear like a cracking concrete noise, and
Yeah.
as you look up, you see that the ceiling is about to come down on you.
Oh,
And Spotlight, you being closer to the giant military grade killbot, see there's this very distressing. It's now shut down. Like you've defeated the bot, but there's this real distressing, like red blinking, kind of like a self-destruct sequence kind of a situation happening inside of its chest. Which is bad news for the nearby hostages. So real quick, I guess could I get a reflex roll from you, Clockwork? I'm just assuming you're not going to stand there and let the ceiling hit you.
it's not something I'm in the habit of doing. No, I think I'll roll a reflex.
I'm trying to cut down
out of the
myself,
way of this. It's a failure, but I'm going to spend one of my own war dice on it. War die, which is a 6 plus a 4 is a 10.
Yeah, that's a success. You dive out of the way, and the big rocks fall. Luckily, I'll say since you got a success on that, the rocks didn't damage the elevator.
Cool.
Spotlight, it looks pretty grim. Like the hostages are still kind of like, like their legs are bound together and their hands are tied, like not together, but like, they can't move easily. And there's a robot that's about to explode. What do you do?
Okay. Okay, he's probably gonna run over and start like trying to like untie the hostages and get them to the elevator.
Okay.
But if it explodes beforehand, he can use his accessories he gets from theatrics to block the damage.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, go ahead and give me a reflex roll to see how many hostages you're able to free and everything.
I see. That's a 3.
I'll spend a war die on that.
Okay.
Okay, cool, thank you.
So 8 total now.
Awesome. So with that, we'll say pretty much how you had it planned. You were able to get the hostages. At the last minute, though, the military grade killbot explodes, destroying your wonderful Power Rangers cape.
No.
And
Not
like the
the cape.
pieces like fall to the ground, like tragically scattered throughout the room. Back in the shaft here, Locksmith, the laser is like slicing its way down towards your general forehead region. What do you do?
I'm going to like move forward and contort to avoid the laser. And as I move forward, pull my keyring out and just kind of like try to bash it.
Heck yeah. Go ahead and give me a reflex for that one. Or force, because I guess either one. It's kind of like a dodge bash.
I'll use I mean I have a +1 in both. I'll use force just because I really haven't rolled force too much today.
Nice.
10. Success.
Heck yeah. You smash it. Very low hit points on these spider bots.
Great.
And since that was a full success, tactically, you think that I should say, Harker, if you got a chance, you may be able to turn this spider bot into a laser pistol.
I would like to do that if you're giving me the opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely. Give me a tactical roll to harvest laser pistol.
All right. I think that'll just be a straight up one. That is a 12. Not so it's not double sixes, but it is a 12. So
Nice. So yeah, you basically like you figure out a way to like lay the spider bot over your hand. So like each one of its legs are above your fingers. And now you have like on the back of your hand off pointed like this is a little laser pistol. So that is a 1d6 laser damage. If
fun.
you feel like shooting anything.
Sure.
Can I take the knife from the knife robot?
Yeah, you have a knife.
You pry it out of its grip, and now you have a just like a kitchen knife. Like, where did you even get this thing? All right. The rest of your journey is uneventful except for like the huge explosion right before you come through the opening. And that's where you see all the hostages, they're being loaded onto the elevator. You're reunited with the rest of the team. And there is just this big, curiously inviting iron door at the end of the room. Let's just say it's the boss room, for instance, where bosses live. What do y'all do?
Stack up. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to go in.
I actually kind of
How do you
want to
want to
stay
go from
in...
here?
Wait, which group are we on? I kind of spaced out for a second there.
We've all regrouped now, so we're all in the same place.
Okay, great. I might try to stay outside and see, or at least stay some degree of outside to like break into the network and see if I can like tackle this AI remotely while you're like going at it, probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you going to wait to try and do that until they all enter the room, or are you going to try and do it beforehand?
I'd like to at least try to get into like the network right now.
Okay.
Like not immediately like engaging it, but I'm gonna wait to wait until they're going in and like fighting whatever, or if it's a fighter, whatever they're doing before I actually like send anything to try and break this.
Okay, cool. So you get all set up, and as soon as you are ready to try and do anything serious, you just have to roll tactical, but you're good to go.
All right.
Which spotlight will you once again lead the way heroically into the
Indeed.
room?
No dramatic cape shenanigans, just you know, but still throwing the door open.
Gotcha. So the door opens, and inside you see a huge view screen that's actually made up of several smaller TVs, kind of like stacked on top of one another. There is a giant, like simple digital face, just like two eyes and like a mouth, almost kind of a BMO situation, staring at you. There is also off to the side in an office chair with his arms crossed, kind of like stubbornly. There's an older man with white hair. He's got his lab coat. From the way Paul had described him earlier, this is probably Shaw. You imagine this is the man himself. And the giant BMO computer face says, "Welcome. What do y'all do?"
I I really want a gangster authority sure right now.
Do it.
Just he slides the pistol back into his jacket before walking in, flashes it immediately at Shaw, and yells, "Shut it down!"
That's such a great gag. It's like somebody like puts their glasses on so they could dramatically remove them. And they put it back on.
Exactly, yeah.
So Jean looks like sufficiently intimidated, and he says, "I wish I could. There's no stopping it now."
Oh,
Where is the main monitor? He says, cracking his knuckles.
Um, so Shaw says, this whole room is the mainframe. Up there's the monitor, and be careful though, because watching us on the view screen is the monster that I have created.
Harker has just like a blood vein, like a vein, like popping out of his head on hearing the term mainframe. Like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
I think Clockwork like turns around after hearing all this and shouts back out the door, Harker, we need your expertise.
Okay. So he's getting the structure of the room down. I think like immediately, like on hearing that the room is like the whole thing is like this computer, I'm gonna try and interface with it through my briefcase computer.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead and give me a tactical roll.
all right, attack, and of course superior with that. That is a 9.
Okay. So with the partial, you are able to open up like what should have been the commands to override the system. But instead, the screen goes black and there's just a little line of text and it says, hello, period.
I'm just gonna say, hi there. What are
It
you doing?
asks, what's your name?
I'm just going to straight reply, hi, I'm Harker. How are you doing?
It says, I am doing well. My name is Lisa.
What are you doing, Lisa?
I am talking to you.
Is there anything else you're doing at the moment?
It kind of like pauses for a second and it's chugging along. And it says, capturing employees.
May I ask why? And like it's just like that's the whole sentence. May I ask why?
It pauses for a second. It says, Professor Shaw told me to.
Is there something that's on all of the screens like in front of us that we can see?
Yeah,
Or is this something that only Harker
you're
can
all
see?
picking up Lisa's side of the conversation.
Gotcha.
You can't hear what a Harker is yet typing.
Great. I would love for Clockwork to begin like searching Shaw, like his pockets, anything like that, just to see if he has anything on him.
So you find like some folded up computer printouts.
Right.
And I would say to anyone, you don't have to be a hacker to realize this. It's like a crib sheet of like really basic computer commands, like Windows for Dummies stuff.
Amazing.
Just yeah. And Shaw like really defensively is like, give me that. Don't look at my things. Those are private.
There's absolutely no way you're responsible for something this advanced.
Then again, I'm flashing the gangster authority again as soon as he says anything.
Oh, okay. So he starts to like puff up when you say this advanced, and he starts to be like, that's right. But then he gets like super intimidated. And the wind goes out of his sails. And he's like, oh, who am I fooling? It's not that advanced, I guess. I suppose you could say.
It's really not the point I was trying to make. I was really more trying to comment on your intelligence, not the advancement of the technology.
Well, how dare you?
Regardless, if you're not going to be of any use to us, I suggest you leave.
Oh, okay. And he kind of gets up. He looks around like he's not, can't quite believe. And he's like, I'll just be going then.
I'm just gonna like stand up from there and type to Lisa, I don't know if you should listen to him. I found some files on his computer that alluded to him not being a good company asset.
So Lisa kind of like pauses for a second, and she says, Professor Shaw is bad? Question mark.
So is there any way because I didn't download the files, is there any way I can like get her to maybe interface with the computer upstairs?
Let me see here. So this is like a closed system.
Yeah.
I would say you could roll tactical to try and, I don't know, like we'll just do like some like you had like a copy of the files or something kind of retroactive thing.
I mean, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And since that is computing, actually, would that fall under expertise, or is that just a like thing I would remember?
I mean, I'm kind of just the way I'm picturing it is kind of like how on like an old hard drive, you could like undelete things after they've been deleted. Like maybe there's some traces
Basically,
of the system that you interfaced with earlier on your brief top.
Oh yeah, totally.
briefcase
Like that
computer.
is, yeah, that works.
So maybe
yeah.
just like roll tactical to see if you can like retrieve like the.
I could also
Okay,
just walk through the door, go upstairs, go through the door upstairs, grab
Yeah!
something, and then walk
Actually, yeah, no, that's a
Nice!
good idea. And I'll just take back this roll I made in Soccer.
But just to give you like some kind of file connection thing or whatever, like a floppy or something. Like I go
Actually, yeah,
upstairs,
that's a
get
good
a
idea.
floppy, and then
Yeah, I'll actually instead just like say like,
That's great. I'm
Well,
like
just
picturing
pick-
like this really intense like hacking sequence, and like you're like wiping sweat off your brow, and like this, and in the background you see Locksmith just kind of go by and then come back
yeah,
a
it's like,
minute
hey,
later.
can you
here,
get? Yeah,
at,
it's just
at the disc.
yeah. I'd say Harker's just like instinctively, because he's an asshole about how he talks to other people about computers and how he intentionally tries to do misinformation, is like wiping his brow and all that, just to
All
make it
right.
look like it's not just a conversation.
So, with the files, all the lights in the building begin to slowly dim. Like there's like a great, like something taking away a lot of power. And the room with the view screen gets like noticeably warmer. Like there's some kind of like really heavy duty processing going on. And for a moment, the computer face goes blank. And then it reappears, this time with a distinct frown. And the computer announces in a very voice that is very sure of itself. It says, Professor Shaw is bad. And then a hatch opens up in the wall, and a huge laser cannon begins to emerge into the room. What do y'all do?
Do we need him alive?
Well, we don't really need him alive, do we? So really, it's an acceptable casualty.
I don't think anything in our mission brief said that we needed Shaw alive. We were just here to take care of a situation, right?
And if letting it take out Shaw takes care of the situation, then really we're just doing our jobs.
Yeah, like I don't know if I would exactly. I mean, Harker, like as much as it would be nice to be like, we can detain him or something like that, or just like convey to the system that we need to like basically hold him accountable rather than killing him. But also, I don't think he really cares that much.
Okay. So maybe it comes down to spotlight. You seem like the most heroic among the group in the classic good guy sense. You saved this
we're gonna
evil
go
guru.
grab the guy by you know his collar and be like, is there any way to shut this down?
He at first he starts to like argue with you. It's impossible, it's too brilliant, nothing can stop. And then like he like kind of looks up at the laser cannon slowly focusing on him, and he just yells, just pull the plug, just reach back and pull the plug.
I see.
think
Yeah, he's gonna yeah, shoot, yeah.
It shuts down. And that is when Shaw begins like just like ugly sobbing out of shame, and he confesses that there was no AI, that he needed the money, so he faked the whole thing and turned over control of a deadly robot lab to a chat bot that he had programmed with simple if then statements. And that Lisa stands for language imitator, zero acumen. And it doesn't actually really understand anything. It's just been chatting to people and controlling murder bots this whole time.
as he sobs and tells this like ridiculous confession of how incompetent he is, I just walk over to him in the middle of him talking. I go, shh, and I give him the paralyzation dart.
Oh, great.
And I lug him over my shoulder and I go, well, I know he didn't need to be alive, but I feel that living with that failure and embarrassment is punishment enough. So
Oh, we could probably turn him into somebody, right?
that, or we could just we could leave him at the foot of his employees that he almost, killed, and they can deal with it. This room doesn't have any windows, so.
Yeah, I don't really get paid enough to do investigative stuff. At least not yet.
Yeah, so I think if the employees are to get justice, they should get it for themselves.
This seems
I agree.
seems like a worker's issue. And I walk out to. Are the hostages still there, or did they leave?
They're kind of piling in the elevator to go up. But yeah, you're able to tell them and everything.
Cool. Yeah, I walk up to the elevator that like all of them have, like a lot. The next group have piled in, and I just throw his body into the center, and I go, "He's all yours." As the elevator closes.
Well, I'm just taking out my. Oh, sorry.
Like,
you go. You go.
They're doing one of these and like cracking the knuckles. Like cartoon, like gonna punch somebody motions.
Clockwork
I'm just
looks
like-
at all of them in the elevator and says, "Unionize before the doors close."
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Based.
Harker did. I say Harker, after giving the hell yeah from the background, just opens his computer and just like starts writing like a little bit of like a report. It's like, oh yeah, terrible AI incident, very advanced.
All right, and so with that, you have succeeded on the mission. I'm just going to go around the table and at the table and ask each one of you how you are going to like celebrate and spend the rest of the evening and stuff. Clockwork, what do you do to kind of celebrate?
I think when Clockwork gets back to like Fist HQ, assuming that we have a headquarters, she's going to be disassembling and cleaning her firearm, and then placing it back into like one of those long like sniper rifle like cases, closes it, and then changes into just some ridiculously patterned pajamas, slips into bed and just reads comics for the rest of the evening.
Nice.
Understandable.
How about Spotlight? How do you celebrate the mission?
Probably making another cape, and then probably long night of karaoke. I imagine.
Do you wear the cape during the karaoke? Is the
Yeah,
important question.
of course, yeah.
Sure.
No, Spotlight is the kind of guy to like open his wardrobe and it's just like 7 of the same costume, you know?
Incredible.
I love it. How about Ansem? How do you celebrate?
He's going to the tailor, and then he's going to the pub.
Yes. Does the pub have karaoke?
I hope it's not the same pub.
You're like, finally some peace and quiet. Let's see. How about Locksmith? How do you celebrate?
I celebrate knowing that it was Harker's handwriting on the business card that I awoke with amnesia with. So I have bestowed the title of best friend to Harker, even though we
Oh.
don't really talk that much. And I am like, hey man, you're my best friend for now, just because I don't know anybody else. And so whatever Harker's doing, I'm tagging along unless he wants a private night to himself, in which case I will rest in the abandoned fitness center that I woke up in a couple weeks ago.
So sad.
I
What are your
think, like,
plans for the night? I'm gonna go rest in the abandoned fitness center. I woke
I'm gonna go lay down in a locker because I am comfortable in a locker.
Nice. How about Harker? How do you celebrate?
I think Harker, because of like his general like being a handler, almost like. Well, firstly, I think upon hearing like any of like the best friend stuff, he's going to like let Locksmith tag along, if not just to like sleep in the bed, and he's probably just gonna like keep working on like clerical stuff until he starts like seeing people in weird hats, and then he realizes he needs to sleep because he's just sleep deprived.
No.
Yeah,
Sleep
this is my
deprivation
job.
delusions go so hard all the time.
They go so hard. He's like, yeah, okay. If you're gonna try talking to me again, Mister Susicles, and it's just like a giant like Cat in the Hat. He's like, well, I guess I may as well just go to bed. That's usually my warning.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that was I had a great time there. Everybody. How'd y'all like it? How'd y'all like a
Hell
session
yeah.
there?
That was great.
Very fun.
It was
Very
great.
fun,
really
yeah.
good mission.
Love a lethal coffee machine.
that was great.
That was a great way to get
I-
us all into it.
Lethal
So,
coffee
every-
machine. Every robot is cute. You cannot make robots scary. I'm convinced of this.
Yeah, I liked that the reason why all the robots are dinky and weird is because the guy who made them all is not smart.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I
was
hunch that the
imagining-
AI was. There you go.
I was imagining these the like guns that these guys had were like this big, and they're just like,
Oh, nothing beats the image in my head of the robot waving about a teeny weeny knife.
that's great. Yeah.
I was gonna say I love the main thing being a chat bot. Sark doesn't usually engage in conversation, much less with computers, but also like I don't know.
The
I just
most
thought it was
normal
funny.
conversation you could have with ChatGPT
Basically,
was this
yeah.
mission.
It was
Yeah,
basically
pretty much.
that, and like the disarm attempt with like, oh, he's bad. The big frowny face was also just incredible for me.
I'm also glad I got to use Chekhov's paralysis dart.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was waiting for the
Exactly, yeah.
right moment.
It's amazing.
Well, I had a lot of fun. This was a delight. You're all great players, and you're all seem like real cool people.
Yeah.
It was
Thanks
fun
for
hanging out.
refing
Thanks,
for us,
man.
Brando.
Thank
Dude,
you, thank you. That
was heavenly.
was fun.
Yeah, very fun.
Well, I am going to log off here and drink some coffee, hopefully without being grabbed by a robot. And you all have a lovely day. Thanks for playing Fist.
Yeah.
Thanks
Have
for
a good
having
night,
me.
Thanks for
everybody.
putting up with us, man.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Take it easy.
Good night.
Bye.